What is up everyone, Movie back again with another video, and today is going to be my latest physical media watches, episode 2 to be precise. Now I done my first one of these videos just a few days ago there, maybe a week ago. I'll leave the link down below if you want to go and check that out guys, but this is my new format of doing what I've watched. Instead of doing it every month, I'm just going to do it when I get about 10 titles, and we do have 10 movies to talk about here, so please do let me know your thoughts on these films in the comments down below. I'll get back to you all, I promise. And let's just get into it with the first thing I watched since my last physical media watches video. Okay, so first up we do have Edge of Tomorrow, otherwise known as Live Die Repeat. I'm really going to try and avoid the glare on this, everyone. I watched the last video back and there was glare here and there. I'm going to have to sort the lighting out in this room. I promise that's something I'm going to try and do in future. Get some nice backdrop lit, backgrounds and stuff like that. Like all the good YouTubers. I'm not quite there yet. But anyway, just getting into it now. This is one I've wanted to watch for a while. When I done my unwatched physical media movies that I own, a lot of people said you should watch Edge of Tomorrow. Put that up the top of your list. I got to say I did really enjoy this film. It sees Tom Cruise, who's like this guy who persuades people to fight in the war against these aliens and takes a little bit of a backseat and tries to recruit as many people as possible. But he is actually forced to go and fight these aliens by, order of this army that he's sort of high ranked up in. And he doesn't take a liking to that at all, but there's nothing he can do about it. And he just has to go and fight these aliens. And when he gets thrown into the battlefield, he is killed straight away, but then his wakes up the same day and attempts to do it again. Kind of like the movie Groundhog Day. We've seen this formula done a lot of times in movies, haven't we? Like Happy Death Day and stuff. But he has to get in like these big machines that help fight the aliens and stuff, which is a nice little twist on it. It's all set in the future, obviously, and stuff like that. But he then learns with each day that he wakes up how to fight these aliens, and learns new things about them, new things about the suit that he's wearing, and new ways to help people basically. And he meets Emily Blunt in the middle of the movie, who sort of guides him through it because she's kind of been through this before. And with the help of her, he tries to go and win the war for the humans against these aliens. Now I gotta say, I thought Tom Cruise was excellent in this. Actor who's really grew on me over the years. Nice to see him as the not so tough guy, but someone who's like, everyone around him is more tougher than him for a change. And he's like a bit of a scaredy cat, he's not like flying planes upside down and everything in this movie. From the off, he doesn't want anything to do with the action, but I like the way his character arc grows over the movie. Really like the chemistry with him and Emily Blunt. I love Emily Blunt. She's such a good actress. And this is a very interesting way of doing the Groundhog Day formula. What I liked about this is a lot of them movies don't really explain why this person is stuck in a loop. And I don't need that explanation every time. But this one give a genuine answer as to why this is happening and how it's happening. And I really like the whole sci-fi element on that. I thought the movie looked wonderful on 4K. But, more on the movie itself. I mean, it just looked excellent with the special effects and everything. Could have done with a little bit less CGI on the aliens, but I like the whole backgrounds here, the beaches they're fighting on, the actual machines that they get in themselves. It was a nice looking film. So I gotta say, this was a very interesting take on that whole formula. Really enjoyed it. I've got to be honest, I don't think it was a movie I was going to enjoy too much, but I picked it up because so many of my friends recommended it to me. But I did enjoy it in the end. I give it 3.5 on Letterboxd there, which isn't bad at all. So yeah, glad to have finally watched that one. That is Edge of Tomorrow. Next up is a film I picked up because it's just in those movies that you must see before you die. One of the greatest movies ever made, apparently. And I just needed the time to watch this one. It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes long. I had a week off last week and got through so many movies. I'll have another one of these videos coming very soon. But this is The Bridge on the River Kwai. Now, all I knew is that it was about a bridge that was built in Thailand. That's all I know about the bridge on the River Kwai. But I didn't know this was half fictionalized, especially towards the third act, but some of it is true. Like the British actually built this bridge, I believe. I'm not a historian. I don't know too much about World War II or anything like that. I'm not an expert on it. But I believe when I looked it up afterwards that part of it is fictionalized and part of it is true. But it's basically about all these British soldiers who are taken prisoner by the Japanese. Is it Japanese? The China. Oh, I'm really sorry. Yeah, I've got to admit, I don't know. I think it's the Japanese, but they are basically forced to build this bridge by this commander, and they basically just have to get to work. And this commander wants to make, like, overrule the law and stuff. Like, there are rules for if you kidnap prisoners, how you have to treat them, and the generals of the British army aren't allowed to get involved and stuff. But this this guy who owns the camp really wants to force the British generals to get involved as well, and they won't have none of it. So there's a little bit of conflict there involving them, the people who are in charge, basically. And yeah, it's basically them trying to build this bridge, but this guy escapes from the camp, gets word of it to British intelligence, and they want to send him back in with these other guys to blow up this bridge before, or upon its completion, basically, to really annoy the enemy. And you know what? I thought this was a very, very good film. I really did enjoy it. I thought the performances all around were fantastic. Alec Guinness and stuff like that, all putting in stellar performances. Really like the guy who was running the enemy camp. I'm not going to say Japanese because I'm not entirely sure, but he was such a good character. Just someone who was just crazy and lit up every scene that he was in. I loved the way he didn't like not getting his own way and stuff. I really like the whole infiltration part of the movie in the second half of the film where they're trying to sneak in and blow this bridge up. Good little element to that. It's kind of like two stories going on. It's a little bit longer, but I was never bored or anything like that. It probably could have been shortened down a little bit within the first hour here and there. But overall, I thought this was a very good film. Really enjoyed it. And I do recommend it even if this isn't your type of genre, because it certainly is not my type of genre. But I'm glad to have finally seen it now, because it is one of them classics that you basically have to watch. And it is a Best Picture winner from 1957 that I've seen now. So yeah, Bridge on the River Kwai, decent movie, that one, I thought. Next up, we do have Erotic Ghost Story. Now, I know the female body parts are covered here, so I really hope YouTube does not, like, what is it, shadow ban this video or whatever. Let's see common sense there, YouTube. But this is a movie by a director called, Nam Nai Choi, and he made the movie Story of Ricky, which is just one of the most bizarre films I've ever seen. If you have not seen Ricky O, The Story of Ricky, I highly recommend it. It is so amazing, so stupid, so wacky, but everything about it works. And I could really see elements of that in this movie. You can tell it's the same director, but this basically has three witches who are wandering the earth wanting to become human. And they all fall for the same guy, basically. And this guy probably can't believe his luck. These three beautiful women all want to basically get with him and stuff like that. And it goes into a very sinister path and turns into a bit of a horror movie in the third act there. Now, I did like this film. I really loved the first half an hour where, you know, the way characters interact and everything. This director really does pull off some wacky dialogue here and there. Really like the three female characters, the three main sisters, and how they sort of interact and want to become human, and they can't make mistakes here and there, so they're watching every step they take. And the character who plays this guy, you know, who they all fall for, was a really fun character. This movie just goes batshit insane in the third act, and there's some really crazy practical effects thrown in there, some really dark stuff, and it becomes like a big fantasy horror film, basically. And I did enjoy it. I didn't like it as much as The Story of Ricky. My biggest problem with this movie is the whole second act is just this guy taking turns to basically have sex with each one of these women, and the scenes go on for like 5 or 10 minutes. So there's a big half an hour there where it's just basically nude sex scenes. Now, some people might love that, but I just want the story to go on. You know? I'm not against all that in movies, but there's a lot of it here. But yeah, really wacky film. And I believe there's a 2 and 3 of these now, so I don't know if I'm going to check them out. I'm not sure, but this one was a good 3 out of 5 movies. So that is Erotic Ghost Story, and it's in this nice box set. Oh, I hope I haven't shown too much on the back. Yeah, there's no nudity on the back anyway. But this was going for £10 in CEX, and I believe it goes for a lot more on the internet. I think they've messed up a little bit there, giving the whole booklet and box set and everything. But yeah, that is erotic ghost story. Now here we do have a 3-film box set, and for now I'm just going to talk about the first film, and that is The Butterfly Effect. I bought this because I wanted the first one in my collection, but it was an extra £1 for parts 2 and 3, so I just got this trilogy. But yeah, The Butterfly Effect is a movie I've seen back in the day. My sister used to love it, and it's a really interesting time travel movie where it sees this young kid who, it's a bit of a coming of age film for the first half an hour, for the first half of the movie. This kid growing up and with his friends, and one of the friends is a complete arsehole, like one of the most vile, horrible characters I've seen in a movie. His sister, who this kid is falling for a little bit, and his other friend who is bullied by the other guy, basically. And it's them four basically on a summer journey, and lots of weird stuff and dark stuff happens in their childhood, and this kid always blanks out when it happens. But he writes down this journal, and when he's a bit older, he looks back at it, and he finds that he has the ability to time travel when looking at this journal and changing the past for a better future, basically. So there are many scenarios where this Ashton Kutcher's character, when he's older, will wake up after changing the past, and his life will be completely different. The whole premise of the movie, and why it's called The Butterfly Effect, is that they think a flutter of a butterfly can alter everything. Just the minimalist change can alter the entire future, and that's what this movie plays on. But I really like how Ashton Kutcher's character is trying to find better ways for his friends, this girl he's fell for. If he can go and change some things in the past that shouldn't have happened, his friends and this girl he's fell for might have a better future. It's kind of really reminded me of the movie Bedazzled, but in a dark drama way. Now, what I mean by that is you see Brendan Fraser's character in Bedazzled have so many different, like 7 different wishes, and every time he wishes for something, his life has changed. So he's waking up in all these different lifestyles, like he's a basketball player and stuff. He's a rich guy at one point. And it's kind of like this. Every time Ashton Kutcher goes back, he comes to a different life, but it's more of a dark drama type tale, basically. I know that's a weird movie to compare it to, but that's kind of the feeling I got. I like Ashton Kutcher in this more dramatic role. I know he's known for a lot of comedy back in the day, but I think he does it well here. He's not one of my favorite actors or anything like that, but he does a job. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty good movie. Glad to have rewatched it now. And if you haven't seen it, definitely worth checking out. So that is The Butterfly Effect. Next up, we do have The Damned. Now, this is a Criterion movie. Not a label I collect a lot of, to be honest. If a movie interests me, I'll pick it up. But I actually won this in a competition. I'm really sorry if there's any glare, guys. I'm really trying to avoid that. I won this in a Criterion competition many years ago. I won 6 movies in a horror competition. This isn't even a horror film, by the way. I don't know why it's through in there. Maybe just for the artwork on the front. But I absolutely hated this movie. This was such a slog, such a drag, and it bored the absolute life out of me. Like, bad movies are better than boring movies. I've always said that, because at least the bad movies can entertain you a little bit, or they'll stick in your memory for being so bad. This was just well directed, well acted, but just so damn boring. Now, it's basically about these bunch of characters who are living in Nazi-occupied Germany, I think. Some of them are Nazis, some of them aren't. But they're vying for power in this manner, because they are all a family who own this big steelworks, and they're all fighting for the top to own this steelwork company. That's pretty much it. Yeah, this movie was nearly 3 hours long. Very complex. I lost track of what was going on halfway through. In fact, an hour in, I was losing track of all the names, what they were talking about. It just didn't interest me. I could not get into this film at all. Now, a few of my friends give this a pretty damn high score on Letterboxd. I give it 1 out of 5 because I just could not get into it whatsoever. The characters aren't likable. They're all vile people who are just trying to get one over on each other. The outcome at the end annoyed me as well. Like, even though I kind of lost what was going on, this certain character who is just horrible in the movie. He's like a paedophile and stuff, sort of being the victor. I just didn't like it. I'll never watch this movie again. And I never ever get rid of my movies, guys. I just can't. But if I did, this would be in like the top 10 of ones I'm going to get rid of. So I just don't recommend this movie. If it's not your sort of thing, if it is your sort of thing, you might like it. It's not my sort of thing. And I just hated it. So that is The Damned. Glad to have finally got that one ticked off the watch list and never to be seen again. So that is The Damned. Next up, we do have The Kingsman, or Kingsman, should I say, The Golden Circle. I was put off by this one. I really enjoyed the first one, but a lot of people said the second one is just so ridiculous. And I put it on the back burner a little bit, but my friend Tom180, who always comments on my videos, said that I should put this at the top of the pile because he really enjoyed it. And I usually do trust Tom's judgment. I gotta say, Tom was right. I really did enjoy this film. Like, it is crazy, it is wacky, it is so out there, it's so ridiculous. Like, if the first one's ridiculous, this is like times 10. You see the Kingsman and his friends, played by Mark Strong, and that is it Albert Finney? Oh, Albert Finney. What's his name? Oh, Colin Firth. Going up against Julianne Moore, who's this like big drug kingpin who's got her own island and stuff, but she can't move off this island until she made her own bowling alley, her own cafeteria, her own ice cream parlor. It's insane. And so many weird things just happen throughout this film. You've got, what's his name? What's his name? Quick. Channing Tatum, just being this totally out there character, and he's in like the American version of the Kingsman. Like, the Kingsman's a secret organization, but he's in like the American version, but it's disguised. This is a big beer company. Yeah, but I really did have a good time at this one. It was fun to basically just go on a journey with Eggsy again. I know a lot of people will say this is so ridiculous and stuff, but you've got to go into the movie knowing that. Like, I could get on board with how bad, meaning it good, so bad it's good it was. Sorry, couldn't get my words out there. Yeah, great performances all around for a movie that's so silly. All the characters are fun. I really do like Mark Strong as well. I think he's a great actor. But yeah, I just had a great time with this. Some good action as well. I really like the opening scene in a taxi, which was really fun. But yeah, I might be in the minority here, but I thought this was a pretty good sequel, guys. I haven't seen The King's Man, which is a prequel, but I do actually want to check that out now after seeing this. So yeah, really surprised me, this one. Had a good time with it. I think I might prefer it to the first. I'm not joking, because Samuel L. Jackson brought that first movie down for me a little bit with his stupid accent. This one, I think I had a little bit more fun with it. So that is Kingsman, The Golden Circle. Getting back to this box set now, guys, and we do have The Butterfly Effect 2. Won't spend too much long on this one, because I know too many people probably aren't even bothered about this straight to VOD movie. But yeah, this one, I did so many terrible things, and don't get me wrong, this is watchable enough. This is about this guy who is on holiday for his wife's birthday with his two friends, or they're out in the country, and he gets a call from work, and he goes, "We have to leave." And he's the one driving, because he's so committed to his job, he has to ruin his friend's holiday and basically drive back. So that really didn't get me on board with the main character straight away. And on the way home, they have a car crash, and his wife is killed. And basically, he's trying to move on in life and stuff, and it's affecting his job, and he finds a way to time travel back and change things. I can't remember quite how he's time traveling back. I don't think it's a journal like the first movie, but he goes back, saves his girlfriend and stuff, and his life is totally different. But what my biggest problem was with this movie, this film just played on this guy trying to move up the ladder in his job. That's what the main focus of the movie was. Whether that was intentional or not, that was the main takeaway. Just this guy trying to move up the ladder and take over this company by altering the past. And that just made it for a little bit of a bland, boring film. Like, I wouldn't say boring. It's only 90 minutes long. It was fine. But just no real story there. It was interesting to see all these little different scenarios where his life's changed and stuff, and he's gone back to the past. But the characters are all cardboard cutout characters. You know, there's just no personality to them whatsoever, and it does have that straight to VOD feel about it. So yeah, watchable, not a very good film though. So that is The Butterfly Effect 2. Hey guys, so in my last video I did speak about the Before trilogy. I watched Before Sunset and Before Sunset and Before, oh my god, Sunrise. Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and I loved them. I didn't expect to love them films as much as I did. So I was really looking forward to checking the third one out, Before Midnight. And my friend Sam said that this is his favourite out of the trilogy. And he's got good taste, Sam. So I went into this really expecting to enjoy it, and I did. It wasn't as good as the first two for me. Now, while I explain is, it was great to hang out with Julia Delpy and Ethan Hawke's character once again. And they're actually together now in this movie. And, you know, it was just good to pick up where, 10 years or whatever after the last movie, and how he's balancing life with his son who lives in America while he's moved to France. And he's got 2 daughters now with his Julia Delpy. And I thought, oh, his dream is basically there now. I mean, after the build up of these first 2 films, they are together. They're living this very happily family life, and I just wanted to see that and hang out with them, because I think these 2 characters have some of the best chemistry in any movies I've ever seen. I think they are great together, and the second half of the film just becomes a big argument. Now, the acting is brilliant again. You know how a real life argument would probably go. And I get what Richard Linklater is doing here. He is trying to be real to life. Not everything is a fairy tale. Couples argue. I get that. But it doesn't make me really want to watch that for about 50 minutes of the runtime. I mean, I was just like, oh man, I just really don't like the turn this has gone here after loving the first 2 movies. And yeah, I am never, like, there was another movie that came out a few years ago. Was it a black and white film with is it David Johnson off Tenet and Zendaya? Is it Malcolm and Me? That whole movie was just a big argument, and I hated that film. A lot of people giving it praise, and I was like, I don't want to see 2 people argue for the entire runtime, and that's what the second half of this movie felt like. But it was still great to hang with these characters. I still love them both to death. 2 of the greatest characters ever put to screen. Really love the direction from Linklater. Very, very simple. Just having the camera in front of these 2 people, walking towards the camera, all done in lots of one takes. It works. But it was my least favourite of the 3. I still give it 3.5 on Letterboxd, but definitely preferred the first 2. And that stopped it from being a pretty almost perfect trilogy. But yeah, still a good movie, guys. But I just enjoyed the first 2 more. That is Before Midnight. Next up, we do have The Butterfly Effect 3 Revelations. Now, this was a really good concept, actually. It follows this guy who can go back in time and solve crimes, or he can go back and just watch the crime without doing anything and see who the perpetrator is. And he's helping the police basically solve all these crimes. And then he tries to go back and solve the crime of his parents. His parents were murdered. But what he doesn't know is he's actually created this serial killer out of all the times he's gone back in time. Now, that is a wonderful concept for a Butterfly Effect movie, doing something a little bit different there. But it was just so bland. I actually like the second one more than this. Like, this is a concept that just did not land for me. It could have been executed so much better and been such a better film, but it just didn't work. I thought the main guy was just nothing to him. More cardboard cutout character than the guy in the second movie. The reveal was laughable. Like, one of the worst reveals I've ever seen in a movie. And it just had such a low budget, straight to VOD feel about it. So, this is actually rated higher on Letterboxd than the second one. I was expecting a bit more from it, but again, just a very bland, boring movie that just didn't work for me, unfortunately. And not much more else to say on it. There is, that's about it, guys. So that is the end of the Butterfly Effect trilogy. Some of you will be glad to know. We've got one more movie after this, but yeah, just recommend the first one there, guys. That is the best one. So that's the Butterfly Effect 3 Revelations. And last up, we do have here, starring Joaquin Phoenix, a first-time watch for me, nominated for lots of awards, and This is a movie that was made in 2013, set in a not too distant future, but that future might as well be the present day. Because it's all about this guy who falls in love with the AI voice on his phone, voiced brilliantly in this film by Scarlett Johansson. And he starts to have a relationship with this AI and stuff because he's this lonely person who's just got a divorce and everything. He was very happily married and he's kind of a loner now. But this AI basically takes an interest in him and is devoted to this guy. And yeah, he's basically in a relationship with his phone. Oh, it's like a little device he's got. But I can just see this being a thing now. Like AI has really took off, and I will not be surprised if people start having relationships with the voice in their phone. Like, you just wouldn't put it past anyone, would you? AI is advancing so much, and it's scary to think where it's going to be in another 10 years, put it that way. But Joaquin Phoenix, great performance here. He really does feel like happy, or Arthur Fleck, should I say, from the first, before he turns into Joker. Like, not in a sadistic way, but just the way he talks, the way he acts and stuff like that. He's got that loner feel about him, but he's actually a nice guy in this movie with friends and stuff. But he sort of did give me that same kind of feel of that character. But yeah, I like how he's trying to date in this movie and stuff, and how all his dates go wrong, and he knows that this AI is the one thing for him. It's got a pretty sad ending, I'm not gonna lie, but overall I thought this was a pretty interesting film. Nice take on a futuristic sci-fi element with it, but one that is very close to home. So yeah, not a bad movie at all, guys. That is here.
Hey guys, so I was just editing the video and I forgot to do a pick of the bunch. So just going to throw this in here right now. I'll try and remember to do this on future videos. But the pick of the bunch is going to be Bridge on the River Kwai. I think it definitely has earned that status as being one of the most greatest films ever made, especially from back in the day. I can imagine liking it a lot more, but yeah, this is the one I rate as the highest on Letterboxd, and I think it fully deserves that accolade. And 1957 Best Picture, of course. So yeah, I'm going to give it to Bridge on the River Kwai.
Okay guys, hope you all enjoyed this latest physical media watches video. I'll have another one coming very soon, and we've got about 5 watched now, so maybe by the end of the week I'll have another 5 watched, and I'll have another VOD cinema streaming watches coming as well. So I'll leave the link for those and all that good stuff down below. Please do let me know what you think of these movies. Sorry there was 3 butterfly effect films in there, but it's just the way it landed. And I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks so much. Take care.